and I'm gonna start my hair. So I shampooed and deep conditioned my hair yesterday. I put in this silicone mix, which I know people usually use for wigs and stuff, but I use it for my hair. It has silicone in it, which is like, it's a controversial topic on whether or not you should use it in black hair. But I use it and I like it, and I think it's a little helpful protecting in the summer specifically. So, hello. So today I'm just gonna press my hair. It's blow drying, but I'm gonna press it. Okay, so I got a question. I have two things that I want to focus on talking about today. And I got a question. Well, I've been getting questions about what to talk about on live. But more than I care about questions, I care about topics as well. So if you have a topic that you want to see me talk about on live, DM it to me, because I'm starting to create a list of topics that people want me to talk about. So today's question, at first I didn't really understand it. It was something like, how do you see personal exposure apps? And I was like, what is a personal exposure app? Then they said, I may have written my question wrong. I noticed that you appear to freely express yourself online. LOL. My question would lean towards, what gives you the courage to do it in a way that benefits you and your brand? It's a struggle point for me, so I optimize for working behind the scenes. Hi, hello. Tell me where you're coming in from. Talk to me. It's a struggle point for me, so I optimize for working behind the scenes. Others may have the same issue. Oh, also, thanks for sharing your breakdowns online. I personally gain value from them. So the question is, what gives you the courage to freely express yourself online? Because this person is saying it's a struggle point for them, so they optimize for working behind the scenes, which basically means that they're not posting or expressing themselves freely online. Let's talk about it. So, hi Amber. If you're joining us in the chat, tell us where you're joining from. Say hello, say good morning, so we can talk, and so it doesn't feel like I'm talking to myself, and so it doesn't feel like you're just staring at somebody. Okay, so let's talk about this. What makes me freely express myself online? It's a combination of a few different things, and hopefully they can help anyone here who might have a similar question or is just curious. So, of course, the philosopher in me, let's talk about what online is, because what we tend to underestimate is how much this is all new. Like, it's crazy how there's this expectation that everybody, or almost everybody, should have an online personal brand and just know how to present yourself and express yourself on this World Wide Web. This is a World Wide Web. This is the first time in human history that you could get on something and talk to the whole world at once. And not only are you expected to use it, but you're expected to like perfectly brand yourself in this technology. Well, obviously it gets weird because you have different parts of your identity, right? You got your LinkedIn side, you got your YouTube side, you got sides you probably don't even want people knowing, right? On how you interact on the internet. And so it's so crazy to me how we've normalized this idea of like the online personal brand when we first, in my opinion, haven't even fully comprehended what the internet is and what it even means, what risks you're exposing yourself to by creating a public facing brand online. So it is risky. I say all that to say that this is foreign new technology. Like, yeah, humans have always been here, and like how to market to them and human behavior and all that stuff, that is all the same. But the internet and this expectation that, you know, here's the perfect way to present yourself on this World Wide Web, that's just like, I think it's fair to just acknowledge that that's like all really new. Do you get where I'm going with that? Like, just the concept of building a public persona in this technology is crazy. So why do I seem to have the courage to freely express myself online? Hello, if you're in the chat, say hello, please, and where you're joining from. Don't be a weirdo. So, and I'll talk back. And I'll clap back too. So I wrote down my answers. I have 4 different answers of what gives me the courage. The first one, I'm gonna be honest with you, is I'm from Brooklyn. And it sounds like a cocky piece of shit, obnoxious answer, if fake is, but in reality, Brooklyn, just like wherever you're from, it has a culture, and cultures produce behaviors and identities and show us where we are. Oh, hi, Brooklyn Finest. What's your name again? He's one of them ones. He be calling himself Brooklyn Finest, and he is not from Brooklyn. Well, what was it? You lived here, you moved when you was like in middle school. He's one of them. Nixon 5. Sorry, I'm driving, watching from Miami. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, Izzy, thank you. See, this is what I like. Talk to me. All right. So when you're raised in Brooklyn and when you're raised in New York, you are raised with this bias that you are at the best, and that and that like you don't need to give a fuck. Like, you're literally raised to not give a fuck. So part of why I have the courage to freely express myself online, Brooklyn Finest, that's what we're talking about. Hi from DC. Hi Sir Felix. Hi Sloan. Closes. Hi from NC. Live in Dallas. Okay, so I'm being for real. When you are raised in New York, you're raised to believe that you are the best, and also like we have an issue with authority. So like I tweeted the other day, like if every city had a question, the question New York would have is who the fuck are you? And who the fuck are you? Because we just don't take to authority. Like, we don't understand why people think they could tell us what to do. That's just part of the culture. So it's just kind of like, who the fuck are you to tell me what I can and cannot do? Who are you to tell me who I can and cannot be? That's a Brooklyn thing. That's a New York thing. And that's one of the reasons why I think I have the courage to freely express myself, because I was raised in a culture that taught me that I have the right to express myself. I have the right to have that self-expression. And if you think about the reason why people move to New York and all those like lonely kids with piercings in the Midwest, why they moved to New York and ruin my fucking neighborhood, is because they also want some of that expression, because New York is a safe place to self-express. You can be a weirdo and it's normalized because that is the culture here. So I'm saying all this to say that part, and if you're just joining, I'm answering the question somebody submitted to me of like why I have the courage to freely express myself online, because the person admires it and wants to do more of that, but is behind the scenes. So I'm answering my question. I'm saying it's a combination of things. So again, the first thing, I'm really giving credit to my neighborhood and where I grew up. Hi, Janelle. When you grow up a certain way, and again, when you grow up in New York, that is the expectation, and that's how you're going to behave. Okay. The second reason why I think I'm able to freely express myself on the internet is because of, well, before I say it, if you're just getting here, I did say how we first have to acknowledge how crazy it is that we're expected to create this like perfect personal brand on this brand new technology that someone said, hey, here's the World Wide Web. Figure out how to perfectly package yourself for every person who's on it. That's like really complicated. So I preface it with that because if you're struggling with how to present yourself online, that context lets you know it's like, it's kind of okay. Hi, Amber from Cleveland. Moved to LA 9 years ago. I got off socials 5 years ago, and I had a big coaching biz, but it became toxic to my mental health, but I do get FOMO. Oh, sorry, Izzy. Okay, so it's hard to freely express yourself because this is it's hard to build an identity on the internet. The internet is changing so much, and it's so big and hard to understand. We think we're experts on it, but we know very little. All right, so the first reason why I'm able to freely express myself online is because I grew up in Brooklyn, and I was taught that, you should just not really give a fuck. There's just like a layer of not give a fuck in my like bones. The second is my values. So it's so funny. People look at me and they're like, Alex, you're so free, and how do you do it? How do you be so free and still have a successful business and still have a da-da-da-da? Y'all are bugging if you think that some of my choices to be free don't hinder some opportunities. Like, people think like, oh, Alex, I wish I could just be like her and just like pole dance and do whatever and still get like deals. No, niggas are afraid of me. I don't know what y'all be thinking. Like, there is a cost to my free expression. And the cost is niggas love looking at me from the side, but they be scared to engage with me because the pole dancing freaks them out, or because I'm a little like ghetto to them, or because like, those kinds of things. And so what I'm trying to say is like, I do end up risking and losing real like opportunities for my business because of my choice to freely express myself. But the reason why I said the answer is values is because I value personal expression and freedom of expression higher than I value money. And I think that's the issue for a lot of people, is that either you value money more than your, freedom of expression, so you just put that first. And if that feels right to you, then you should be Gucci. But the issue is a lot of people don't value money as much as they value personal and freedom of expression. So they'll choose the money route, and then they'll feel like they're in a cage, and they'll look at me swinging on the pole, living my best life. And like, damn, I wish I could do that. How do I do that? You do it by choosing what you value more. And I value fun. I value expression. I value having, like, again. And now, to be very fair, I've been in this industry over 10 years, which means I could kind of step in this bitch like, who the fuck, who said what now? Like, I could kind of do that in a way that with more like sturdiness than I could have 10 years ago. But the truth is, guys, I was even more unhinged when I first came into this game. And this is me buttoned up. Janelle say they were afraid of you before you started expressing yourself. Amber said that's good. Joe saying panoptictism. What is that? Joe saying put us on. What are you talking about? Wait, hold on. My filter changed. Doing way too much. Okay. So, wait. Okay. All right. What was I saying? So you have to decide for yourself, what do I value more? Do I value having money but not being able to freely express myself? Or am I willing to take the risk of potentially not making as much money, but knowing that I can dress how I want, talk how I want, present how I want? For me, I've tried both. Like, I've really tried to be, safer and like hide, I guess, some of my weirdness. But bitch, I be feeling like I'm gonna die. Like, what? Like, to this day, I always say, when I started Boss Babe, the whole the whole like inspiration for it was I was doing social media freelancing in 2013 when niggas was like, why would my business need a Twitter? This was like so different times. And I had a business meeting with these boomers for their social media. And I'll never forget, I had a Facebook hoodie because at the time I was working with Facebook, and I have so much like tech swag, like old tech swag. I should do like a show and tell at some point. So I had a Facebook, it wasn't a hoodie, it was like not a quarter zip, a full zip, but with the high collar. I don't know what the fuck to call it. It was green. It was like giving fake Adidas. And it said Facebook. I don't have it anymore. And I forget what pants, and I had these clear platform jellies. And they were like, the platforms were like this big, and the jellies were sparkly. And I was like, shit, should I wear this to this meeting? Because I really want to get this deal, but I'm afraid if they see these platform jellies, they're not going to want to work with me. Again, I was in my early 20s. I was kind of naive to the fact that they probably wanted a little ditzy ass millennial, because at that point, being a millennial then was like being a Gen Z now. Like, you kind of want the nerdy, unexperienced, early 20s social media girl, because you can tell she kind of engages with the kids. But at that point, like, I'm thinking, like, I'm not thinking that they're looking for that. So I decided to wear the jellies, and it inspired my first brand, Boss Babe, because I was like, oh my God, millennial women are not going to want to change how they dress to be taken seriously in business. And what did I do? I fucking killed it with their brand on social media, and they were happy. They didn't give a shit about the platform jellies, because that was not the focal point. That was not the point. The point was, could I deliver on what I said I was going to deliver on? And I could. And so the lesson there is that Janelle, the Boss Babe pink, took over the internet, and now everybody is a Boss Babe. Yes, Boss Babe ended up being a cultural phenomenon. That is what you could describe as a cultural phenomenon, which I think is cooler than just it being a business, is that it created a movement in culture. Okay, great. So I'm saying all this to say that ever since I was a little girl, I valued freedom of expression. And I've been put in situations every day where I have to decide, do I want to pick the safe route, or do I want to pick the route that feels most like me? And am I willing to potentially lose out on certain money opportunities to do that? And my answer is yes. So you have to figure out what the answer is for you. Is your answer yes? Like, are you willing to do that? And if you're not willing to do that, are you willing to live the rest of your life this way? Some people can. Some people don't give a fuck about expression. That's like an art thing. That's like an artist creative thing. We're the ones who care about that shit. And that's just how I am. So that's number 2. So the first reason why I can freely express myself online is because I'm from Brooklyn and I don't give a fuck. Okay? I'm from New York. That's how we are. I don't give a fuck. I don't even realize it. When I first got in the tech industry, I was walking into the tech companies with gold fronts in my mouth. Everybody, like, and I didn't realize how crazy that looked. I wasn't doing that to be big and bad. I was doing that because that's just how I dress, and I didn't realize I was looking crazy. And that's what New York will do to you. Like, you don't even realize you look crazy in different environments because you're just so used to being yourself and expressing yourself in certain environments. So that's what Brooklyn will do to you, where you're just confident in how you present. So I wasn't even realizing I was expressing myself. But in hindsight, oh my God, those white tech boys looking at me going in there. Bro, I had pigtails, juicy couture, velour, gold fronts. I'm in there like, y'all ain't running this shit right. Like, And eventually, you know, time revealed that I was right, and then they did end up fucking with me. But because I came in with that kind of image, they were like, this is weird. Who let Cardi B in? That's how I felt. But again, whatever. They should be whatever. Let's not even. Okay. The second is because I value personal expression and freedom of expression more than money. I value money. Don't get it fucking twisted. I value money. I need money just like you need money. Money is great, blah, blah, blah. But I value freedom of expression more. If I had to choose between a super high paying job that set me up for the rest of my life, but I had to like not wear my nails how I want, or hair as I want, or clothes as I want, and between that and like a job that had half of that, but I could dress however the fuck I want and show up however the fuck I want, I'm gonna pick the job that pays me half, because I value the expression more. So you have to figure out, where do you realistically value your expression, and is it above money? Okay, great. Now, the third reason why I have the courage, if you're just getting here, I'm answering the question. I noticed that you appear to freely express yourself online. My question would lean towards, what gives you the courage to do it in a way that benefits you and your brand? It's funny because like the triggered person in me is like, are you basically asking me like, what gives me the fucking gall? You kind of are. What gives you the gall, Alex? What? You have a fucking nerve. Like, what? How'd you get that nerve? All right, so the third reason is, and this is probably one of my favorites, is, do you see the president? Like, do you see who the president is and how he acts and what he says and what he did and how much crazy shit he has gotten away with in terms of just, I mean, I don't even know where to start in terms of sexual harassment, just financial crazy shit. Like, he's just nothing but controversy. My other example of this is like an Elon. Like, niggas clearly do whatever the fuck they want to do in this country. And not only do they do whatever they want to do, they be winning. That'd be the winning strategy. So whenever someone's like, oh damn, well how could you pole dance, or how could you whatever, I don't even know what people think I do that's so crazy. I'm just like, do y'all see y'all mans? Do you see, like, I do think it's an unfair bias where men in power get to be these unhinged ass, crazy figures, controversial, breaking rules, and their followings just get bigger, and their rewards just get bigger, their businesses get bigger, their net worths get bigger. So it's just like, I don't take this country seriously no more. I don't think anybody takes this country seriously. I don't think anyone takes these systems seriously. So I don't even think the niggas I'm talking about take this shit seriously. So I feel like it's unfair to look at women. It's, for some reason, it's usually women. Like when someone is like, well, how do you have the courage to express yourself like that? I don't really know. Like, I don't know. Y'all tell me in the chat. I don't feel like men get asked that question. Like, I don't feel like men get asked, oh, how do you have the courage to be yourself? Like, where it's like, if a woman is doing something that's a little different or edgy or, you know, out the box or whatever, that's when it's like, who gave you permission to do this? Not that I'm saying the person who asked me this question came for me like that. I'm not talking about the person who asked me that question, but I'm just saying that, like, we don't question those men in power. And in my opinion, I don't think we question men in general when they decide to be unhinged, crazy motherfuckers. So why are you coming for me? Like, oh, so I can't be an unhinged tech bro? What do you mean? You guys made it look so fun. I want to destroy the planet with you guys. I'm just kidding. But like, that is another reason why I don't stop, because I'm like, so many times we think about being taken seriously. Well, I need people to take me serious. I need people to take me serious. I don't need people to take me serious. First of all, let me put y'all on motherfucking game. Niggas wasn't taking me serious regardless, okay? Niggas wasn't taking me serious with my... I could pull up in a Hillary Clinton 2.0, 3000 and be like, yes, I graduated from blah, 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 and I'm perfect, and I followed all the rules, and here's my LinkedIn account, and blah, 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 blah. Niggas will still be like, because if we're being real, it is my belief, and I'm open to having this belief change, but I'm gonna tell you what I've had from my experience. That Janelle, wait, I'm making sure. Say it, okay. Oh, Joe's saying, I'm gonna go back to what you said. In my experience, when you are a small, brown, black woman, they don't really give a fuck what you gotta say, okay? They might want to see you shake her ass. They might want to see you move, but the talking and shit, they're like, we're good. I could do it in a 3-piece suit. I could do it in a bikini. There's just a bias in the world. Like, I've had so much proof of, I say something, and then a tech bro says something, or like one of these little fake pseudo thought leaders say something, and the whole internet explodes. Oh my god, I never thought of it that way. And then of course Wolf Mafia will be in the chat like, oh, Alex said this 10 years ago, like, y'all niggas is late, blah blah blah. And it's because there's this bias that if a certain person who looks a certain way says it, then it makes it true. And if a certain person in another way, who looks another way, says it, it's kind of like, it's just not as embraced as much. That's it. And so, yeah, is that frustrating? Yeah, it's fucking frustrating, but I've learned to live with it. Joe Saint, how social media / the internet has turned into different flavors of constant surveillance, more or less, has impacted how we show up online. Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't know that was the word for it. How do you pronounce that? Yeah. Now this is just Watchagram. This is just Watchagram. I do like what you said, though, because I think what people have not picked up on is the fact that, because we've been on social media for so long, and because the features are so surveillance-y, and because we're kind of fatigued from a lot of the behavior that we first got on the platform doing, that we're all kind of now just watching each other more than engaging with each other. And it feels creepy. Like, there's all these memes of like, how come when I post on Instagram it feels like this, and it's like someone going on a stage. And it's because, yeah, we are watching each other, because that is kind of what this is designed to do. It's like kind of watch and compare. I keep bumping my mic. I know I'm going to be fucking pissed. Let me just move this. Janelle, men don't get asked that question. I'm going to start asking these niggas that question. I'm gonna start asking, you know, matter of fact, you know, the next panel, I'm gonna be like, what gives y'all niggas the gall? I'm not gonna say like that. I'm gonna be like, what gives you the courage to come out here talking like that? Do men, like, again, I feel like men will be like, oh shit. I feel like men will be like, what do you mean? That's just how I am. And that's my answer. Hey, beloved from Mississippi. Hi. Hi, Kim. Katie. Alex, I loved your latest video on social media. Are like cities. Came here to say love your brain. Thank you. Hi, Katie. Do you think there will come a time when you just get off social media altogether? No. Okay, so I tried to do that. Let me tell you about my failed social media escape plan. Oh God, it's embarrassing. But wait, before I do that real quick, I just want to say I did answer the question of, I noticed that you appear to freely express yourself online. My question would lean towards what gives you the courage to do it in a way that benefits you and your brand. So my answers were really that it doesn't always benefit me and my brand. I have to take risks and I have to lose out on potential things because I scare niggas like real bad. But what I was saying is that I value personal expression more than I value money. I value money very high. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying I don't value money. I'm saying all of our values are like in competition with themselves, right? So one of my highest values is personal expression. So you could give me a lot of money, but if I can't really express myself, then I'm going to keep hitting this like wall and internal conflict and fucking cognitive dissonance and unfulfillment because I'm not living out my true values. When you live out your true values, then you're free. So you have to decide and you have to do the math on what do you prioritize more. And I also said it's because I'm from Brooklyn. When you're from Brooklyn, they raise you to not give a fuck. So a lot of that not give a fuckness is from being from Brooklyn. Okay, so somebody was like, why don't you one day will you get off of social media altogether? Let me tell you about how I tried to do that and it didn't work. So I thought I was smart, y'all. I was like, okay, I've said what I needed to say about social media. I'm leaving. And I'll go into detail about what really happened because some of it involves a failed relationship, which I want to give the proper time to talk about. But basically, I had come into some real good funds, and it was the pandemic. This was like 2021, 2022 pandemic though. Mind you, I've been on the internet my whole life. I didn't even know who the fuck I was without checking social media every day and being a big social media personality, or at least in my mind. Aren't we all? So what happened was, what did happen? I was looking this was the beginning of like taking acquisitions more seriously. So this is business acquisition. So like I said, I come into some money and I was like, I'm about to buy a business and I'm about to just never have to deal with y'all again. And I do think it's still possible for people to achieve this. But I do think it's a little bit more difficult when you're a woman and when you have already built an internet persona. Let me explain. So, of course, I start going around and I talk who I need to talk to start acquiring businesses, which are bankers, people in lending, people in finance, people with businesses, big acquisition portfolios. I swear to God, this was like 2021, 2022. And I'm like, all right, now I get to be a grown up. Let's pull all the social media shit to the side. Thank you, Benny, loving the nails. Let's pull all the social media shit to the side. I figured it out. I got my money. I'm getting the fuck off Instagram, right? That was me. And niggas knew. I was gone. Everybody was like, where'd Alice go? Where'd Alice go? I was nowhere to be found. Which, by the way, I felt so loved. Because it's so easy to leave the internet and no one even noticed. But, like, niggas noticed. Like, I just stopped posting. Everybody's like, wait, where'd she go? So here I am taking all these meetings. And I'll never forget, y'all. I was like, okay, you know, figuring everything out. I had sold a business before, but it was still my first time learning how to actually buy a business. And everybody I kept meeting with, of course, what do they want to know? What do they want to know before they meet me? Well, they're still going to want to see your LinkedIn. They're still going to want to see your resume. And that's basically what I realized is that I can't run away from my resume. And I couldn't not include the fact that I had a tech startup, I sold it, I had to share those things. So around this time, for some reason, this exact year, 2021, 2022, those exact years, All those finance guys, for some reason, I want to blame Gary Vee, but I look for any reason to blame him, so I don't know for sure. But they were all like, well, they were impressed by the money. That's not how you get in the acquisition game. They can give a fuck about your money. They are looking for all the other skills and things you're bringing to the table, because they got money, baby. And they were like, well, this happened to me. I'm telling you, rinse and repeat 3 times. I would meet somebody who could help me, purchase a business, acquire a business. And each time it turned into weird shit. It would either turn into just like regular weird shit, or it would turn into like, well, we see that you're really good with social media, and we've been meaning to build our like brands on social media. Mind you, these are very wealthy people. In my millennial brain, I'm like, social media is where you go when you're broke. And that's where you go to get your money, so that you can get your money and leave social media. So again, I had built a whole system so that I could be on my ways out. So I'm looking at these acquisition, high portfolio, high net worth people, and they really asking me about how to set up their fucking Instagram and like LinkedIn and shit. And I was like, fuck. Because I realized like, oh, like this is the only way y'all gonna really fuck with me. And cause they were like, I was like, well, I'm trying to get out of the game. And they're like, it's so funny you say that, cause I'm trying to get in the game. The future is all social media and blah, blah, blah. And 2020 really, like, you have to understand, we haven't been paying attention to the actual years that the other generation started adopting the behavior. So there was a time when your parents wasn't doom scrolling. And it was only like, I want to say like my parents started doom scrolling around that time, right? Like 2020, 2021, because everybody was inside. And it was crazy to see like, oh, like now the old heads who have figured out how to make money, now they're getting sucked up into the feed, and they're getting sucked up into doom scrolling, and they're getting sucked up into this pressure to build a public facing personal brand and brand identity on the internet. I was like, damn. Because like, again, my millennial brain, I'm thinking everything is going to stay separate. Like, I'm thinking, and this is me, this is someone who thinks about this shit all the time, and I've still got okey doke. Because I'm like, well, again, us as kids, we thought the internet was something we would grow out of, that eventually grow out of it. But now what happened is the internet, as I was like planning my escape, the internet was going, bitch, where the fuck? You ain't going nowhere, bitch. And I was like, what you think? I can run from Boss Babe and run from Pink and run from Apple and Snapchat? No, I have to say that. I have to go in those meetings and say, hey, this is my tech pedigree, this is what I bring to the table, this is what I did. And so of course they wanted to work that. Janelle, I need to watch Attention for Sale again, because this is all full circle. Girl, I tried to leave. And so again, and then it was like, oh, well, you're great on camera. Do you want to be on our podcast? It real quick, it turned into, bitch, can we use your face real quick? And I'm like, bro, I'm trying to buy a private island and never have to talk to any niggas again. Like, I wasn't trying to start a podcast. You should have seen my face. Start a podcast. You niggas think I'm here to help you start a goddamn podcast? And that's when I realized I was trapped. And that I am who my LinkedIn says I am, which changes every fucking day. And I am, and then on top of that, bitch, this is when I got into pole dancing. So I'm posting pole videos on it. Everybody was just thrown off. I was thrown off. Everybody was thrown off. And it's just like, it comes back to this, like, well, how do I live this fully expressed life and have this one internet identity, and money's not enough, and I'm still figuring it out. But I guess what ended up happening is I used it for my advantage, because I was like, oh, like, I have a really great skill, social media, and all y'all like high net worth people want that. Okay, so but then it was like, why would I be a part of your stuffy brand when that's not even gonna work. It's gonna fail because I'm not a stuffy girl. Alright? So I was like, well, guess I gotta just build my own shit. Because I realized, like, oh, well, if anyone does do business with me, they're gonna have to do business with me. This one. That one on the grid with the ass cheeks out? Yeah. Alright, fuck. You know how many times it's on this? Alex, you know, people would just take you more seriously if you just didn't. You say you're in tech, but I don't know. I go on your page and it looks like you work at the strip club, and you know, I've heard fucking everything. Zuckerberg gets to kill animals as his hobby, and everyone's okay with that. But it's not just about my hobbies. It's not just about my pole dancing hobby. It's about how I speak. It's about how I present myself. It's about that I am a little ghetto in their mind. And it is what the fuck it is. I don't fucking care. It doesn't matter. New money is the new, new money has always pissed off old money. Because new money is always ghetto. Hold on, the comments are coming in. Mugo's laughing. Benny, I wish we didn't introduce the older generation to the internet. Millennial here. I know. Girl, my mom be really on IG. I'm like, Ma, go read a book. You're pissing me off. The press is pressing. I'll be working in New York soon. Pull up. Okay. Oh, the press is pressing. Baby girl. Damn me. I would love for you to do my hair. Real talk. J Uber of my life. Hi. Mugo. Yeah. Katie. I actually love you started pole dancing. Oh, you're a businesswoman and artist. Thank you. The secret of Victoria. Exactly. Katie, everyone is so up their ass. And that's why I said, what was my third reason of why I freely express myself? Because look at my president. That nigga be expressing the shit out of himself. Apparently, that's the winning strategy up in this bitch. So why would I? Come on. What? Come on. Mugo, personal brands are prisons, man. Like, they want to flatten you to fit into their corporate box. Exactly. And I say that brands should fit like gloves, not like boxes. So your brand should hold you, but it shouldn't trap you. Like, it shouldn't, like, it should feel like it's custom, tailored. And if it doesn't feel custom and tailored, then you got to work on it until it does. Secrets of Victoria. Alex, you are real. Thank you. Katie, you're... Don't cover me. Oh, I didn't even notice. The Secrets of Victoria. And we love it. Thank you. So, I realized I had to come back. And that I would have to try to build those relationships through this identity. And, of course, I still figured it the fuck out. Them niggas did the strip club all day anyway. Katie, I get the whole personal brand thing, but also we're humans. Absolutely. And to be, I don't feel imprisoned by my personal brand. My mascot is a naked lady, a naked she-devil. So, if anything, again, I be scaring niggas from. Sir Felix, do you do online business coaching, consulting? Yes, I do. DM me, brand, and I'll send you a link. Katie, like, are we supposed to only care about professional title? Baby, I don't know what they expect us to care about, because you got all these different apps telling us different things. You got Instagram being like, oh yeah, be a creator. And then, but then it's like, LinkedIn is like, be professional. And it's like, nigga, the tabs are right next to each other. So how do you build one identity on this whole internet? What the fuck are y'all talking about? Again, like, stop pissing me off. Sorry, I'm not mad at you, Katie, of course. Sir Felix, bring back the pink Alex, take over the world. You know, it's so funny, the pink is still here. The pink is everywhere. The pink is everywhere. The pink is everywhere. The pink has taken over. So, It's funny, y'all. I didn't realize pink is the same color of the most important door in the world. Do you know what that door is? I have it between my legs. You might too. Isn't that crazy? I didn't put two and two together for a while. I'm like, yo, pink? Pink is honestly, there's a lot of weird, mysterious shit about pink. Like, it's technically just the absence of green. Like, look it up. Like, pink is not its own color in the, I don't want to say it's not its own color in the rainbow, because that sounds kind of crazy, but look it up. Like, pink is a weird, like, absence of green in something. I think in all colors. I don't know. It's just a weird color. Look it up. But also, it's the color of the door. And I do love that my little 21-year-old self, like, spray painted business in the color of the door. You know, the way all y'all niggas got in here, into the world, that door. I find it so interesting that these apps are telling us what to be, not the reverse. That part. I will sit down and curse an app out and tell an app what it needs to be. Anyway, just happy you're happy, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I am happy. Yes. Benny, commenting on Bring Back the Pink gives, if you're reading this, it's too late. Because the pink has been established. Yeah, I agree. I think Sir Felix was just trying to support. But yeah, Sir Felix, baby, the pink is outside. So yeah, I'm glad we were able to discuss all this. Y'all have any other thoughts or opinions or other topics you want me to talk about? I am collecting topics to go live with. So let me know. You're doing amazing. Set your price and live your life. Yes, that's advice for everybody in this chat. Set your price and live your life, and don't compromise your values, y'all. Values are more important than goals. American culture teaches you to achieve your goals, but goals don't fulfill you. Values fulfill you. Everybody done figured out how to achieve their goals. Niggas get their goals and they're like, this is it. Yeah, because you don't know what your values are, you haven't identified them, and you don't live your values. Don't just set goals. Live out your values. Live them out. If you want fulfilling life, live your values. What are your thoughts on introducing social media to kids? My thoughts are, one, I'm very happy that I don't have kids, because it would be very frustrating and disempowering, I think, as a parent, and that I imagine, to regulate what is the unregulatable. Here's what I mean. Limits are great, but why did my asthma overheat? Bitch, what you overheating for? The reality is, I have a 1-year-old, but I think about this often. Okay. So I don't have, like, an answer that's going to make you feel better. I have just my thoughts, right? So the issue about social technology, and I don't mean social media, I mean technology that takes over our social landscape, is that there's risk in exposing your kids to social media and phones and screens, and there's risk in keeping them away from them. And that is the conundrum, is having to manage what is the right balance, because the reality is there isn't one, in my opinion. So the issue with screens and kids is that the screens are too goddamn overstimulating. They're too overstimulating for everybody. They're too fucking overstimulating, and they're zapping your brain up so that you can't focus, and they're zapping your brain up for different types of cognition that we don't even understand how it's going to change us. But now, as your kid gets older, so when they're 1, I'm imagining you have better control. Now, the other issue is parents have to work, and we live in a world where the standard is, let me give my kid the screen because they'll shut up and I can do something else. And most parents don't have lifestyles where they can afford to not do something like that and actually give their kid undivided time and attention that isn't going to just be throwing stimulation screen at them. And even if they have the time, they might not have the emotional capacity. They might just not be that type of parent. So that's 1. But 2, you know, once your kid gets older, now you have to deal with the ecosystem of the other kids, and you don't want to over ostracize your kid by not letting them have the things that the other kids have. And then also there's the information element and safety element of it, of like, well, if I need to get in contact with my child, or if I need to communicate something important to my child, or if something important needs to be communicated to my child, I need some kind of communication device, especially in this climate, to be able to do that. Yeah, so I guess what I'm just articulating is that there's risk on both sides. There's risk for harm on both sides. And I know that if I had a kid, that motherfucker would be harmed right now by one of them sides. Because it's just, there's no way I can. First of all, we're being harmed. Full-blown adults are being harmed. So how can we protect our children if we can't even protect ourselves? And this is why step 1 is advocating healthier technology to begin with. Because it's not just an issue for the most vulnerable, it's an issue for everybody in our ability to protect the most vulnerable. So that's my thought on that. Katie, it's scary, I can control it now, but exactly that part, the ecosystem of the other kids using their tech. Yeah, like, I don't know, it's sticky as hell. It's definitely sticky as hell. Alright, well anyway, let me know what other topics you want me to cover. I'm gonna be, I just want to like go live and like have these conversations. I like when you guys talk to me. I've been feeling like I get on Instagram and nothing's going on, and I feel like when we talk, something is going on. So just talk to me. I'm here to talk. I like to talk about these things. And Sir Felix, you got good genes. Please transfer them to your kids. Thank you. But what's that gonna do? What's that gonna do? First of all, you don't know what kind of genes I got, baby. I got some crazy genes. You want to pass them down? Okay. Secret of Victoria, we appreciate you. Thank you, Victoria. But yes, I'm gonna, like I said, right now in my stories, I have like a thing up that says, like, what topics do you want me to discuss? So if you guys have any topics, let me know. Even right now in the chat. Katie, when he's 5, 6, I don't know, I'm thinking he needs to be in every sport. Yep. But the issue is nowadays, they're gonna be like, oh, you want your baby to be in a sport? Download this app. Download this app. My phone doesn't have storage. Download this app. Oh, you need to breathe? Download this app. Oh, you need to pay your bill? Download this app. Oh, you need to download this app. I don't want to download your app. My phone has too much content on it because y'all told me I need to take content, and now I don't got storage, and now y'all telling me I need this app and I don't got storage, and I gotta pay for my parking, and I gotta download another app, and I don't got storage, and I gotta take content because Gary P told me I need to survive. Download this app. Let's see if I can make it the rest of my life without asking y'all to download an app. I'm gonna try. No apps. So overwhelming. Bro, we're fried. We're fried. Like, we have been trained to scroll through stimulating garbage to relax. Your body is not relaxed. We tell ourselves, we don't even tell ourselves anything. It's all subconscious. It's all programmed. There's no, it's just a habit. People are overwhelmed. Ooh, burnout is a great topic. Okay, but like, what? What do you want me to talk about? Like, give me specific, like, how to deal with it. I like that as a topic, though. American dreaming. I'm starting a startup fintech company, and I want to build it intentionally. Do you offer to sit on boards or brain trust? Yes, baby. DM me so you can learn about, like, my advisory. I've been advising tech startups for 10 plus years. I've made more billionaires than I have made my own billions. Okay, I'm starting to get pissed the fuck off. That's why tech founders be, let me get some of that Alex Wolf juice. Not you, American Dreaming. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about everybody else who be, bro, like, I post this content and I'm just like, I'm trying to connect with my audience, but at the same time, I just know that I'm helping people who are not gonna help me. I'm being surveillanced. I'm being stalked. I've been being stalked for like 6 years. I deal with stalkers, like creepy tech people. Dealing with burnout. Okay, let me actually write that down. Does anyone have anything else? Any other topics? Dealing with burnout. I might make that my next one, Victoria. Would you talk about what you invest in other than businesses? Yeah, I would talk about that. Well, when you say other than businesses, are you talking about like real estate? Like, what are you talking about? American Drew said, no, I need the Alex Wolf juice. See, I told y'all. Tech founders be like, oh, Alex Wolf is coming. I wonder if I can get 5 minutes with her. Y'all think I'm exaggerating. Be like, the Wolf is here? I'd be like, yes, baby, I'm here. Let's build you an app, baby. Let's make you some money, baby. I do it by accident. Oh, other than business acquisitions. Okay, so so you mean like stocks and stuff? Because stocks are still technically business acquisitions. Technically, you're buying equity. Stock is equity. Yeah, I can do that. Any other topics? I'm just finishing this press. Yeah, ETF stocks. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Just making sure. I have a very speculative portfolio. Well, what people would consider speculative. But my shit be hitting though because, well, okay. You can't just say shit like, this is not financial advice. Don't. The only advice I give is bad dating advice. Just kidding. Actually, my dating advice has been getting my friends really good results. My homegirl is going to Europe with her situationship number 3, which is what she wanted. We make it happen over here in Alex Wolf dating and services. Okay, who feels the satisfaction of the silk press with me? Okay, so what the fuck is this? Like, at first I was like, oh, did I burn my leave out? I think I accidentally cut that shit. That's too much. Like, what the fuck? I'm not even gonna take it out again. The fuck? Ooh, last thing. I eventually want to do a shoot of you, something conceptual. Let's do it. Are you a photographer? Let's do it. You know I model, baby. What concept are you thinking about? Ooh! But thank you to all my chatters who were chatting with me today. If y'all don't know, I used to go on Periscope every morning when I was a pup. Oh, sorry, y'all. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, you have a studio in Dumbo. Okay, send me the mood board. That sounds like fun. What kind of studio is it? Wait, I want to shoot there. I be needing a studio. What was I gonna tell y'all? I don't need to be pressing it this much, but this is that it's summertime run through. This is my bitch, I'm not playing with you run through, pass through. My roots still feel frizzy as shit. Okay. Mwah. Yeah, Katie, hit me up and I'll be back. Y'all go to my stories. If you have a topic you want me to discuss, go to my stories and drop it in the little questions thing. And I'll see you around. Bye.